Tommy's gonna taste the gin so that you don't have to. Let you save your money, yeah, that's what Tommy wants. Minimal dilution, cause we wanna taste the gins. But if the gins are bad, then we will throw them in the bin. Now let's hand it over to Tommy, who is gonna taste. He's gonna get all rowdy and shout up the place.
Servus, and welcome back to Tommy Tastes, the channel where I taste the gin so that you don't have to. This week I'm wearing my Oktoberfest shirt because we're going down south to Bavaria where we'll be trying the Duke's Wanderlust Gin. So let's talk a little bit about the Duke. The Duke have an original gin which I can give you a one noise review of. Meh, yeah, that's pretty much their gin. However, they also make this amongst other different versions of their gins. What don't I like about this gin already? The label. I think that I could have done a pretty good job of making this on a 2001 version of Microsoft Publisher. Do you need help designing the label of your overpriced gin?
I can help.
Yes, I know it's supposed to be speaking to the area of Bavaria where it's made and the different botanicals that go in it. But I don't give a shit. It looks bad. It looks like a design I made of a Pokemon trainer badge for my gym that went on the fridge when I was like 9 years old.
Right, I got
A gym with a boring label. So not setting out its stall very nicely there at all. So let's talk a little bit about what makes this gin unique. I don't like the fact that this gin basically talks about going on a journey. We spoke about Sir Edmund Gin and all the reasons why I think it is absolutely wank, and the aspirational journey vibe of the gin was certainly one of the most wank facets of that gin. So this one is really using the terroir to its most extreme.
Joho, wunderbar, so viel terroir.
Taking a normal gin with juniper, coriander, lemon peels, that kind of thing. And then we're going to the foothills of the Bavarian Alps, where we'll collect botanicals such as blossoms of rose, hops, poppies, edelweiss. So lots of floral herbal things going on there. So it's a very weird decision that they should then choose to use things like malted grain as well, raspberries, and then the one thing that makes it wanderlust, so traveling outside of Bavaria, is the cocoa beans. This is a fucking mishmash of botanicals which I cannot get my head around. Sure, if you chose to focus on flowers and raspberries, I see how that could work. If you chose to focus on, I don't know, hops and citrus, I see how that works. Maybe even hops and cocoa to an extent. But all of these things together, combined with a normal gin, it's just muddled. And I have no idea how they're going to wrangle this to be harmonious in any way. It's going to take a real special distillery to really pull that out of the bag. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to tasting this at all. But let's get it in a glass and let's have a bloody good taste.
We hope that you like German music, motherfuckers, cause here comes some.
So as you can see, we've got a nice clear gin here. Let's get our nose in there and have a whiff.
Erdbeereis im Strandcafé, so schön kann es sein.
So I hate the nose on this gin, first off. It is confusing and muddled. But not muddled like I've had with other German gins before. Remember Wild Gin and the PTSD that I'm still suffering from that? 65 botanical Goliath of a gin. But all it tasted of and all it really smelt of was sweet citrus. This doesn't have anywhere near 65 botanicals, but it's still got a really obscure, confusing nose. Basically, I get like vanilla, I get raspberries, I don't really get anything that's noticeably gin-like in here, which is pissing me off for a start. The vanilla of the cocoa beans definitely comes through and gives it this kind of interaction with the raspberries, which make it smell a little bit like white chocolate, or kind of with the malt as well, Special K red berries, which I don't know about you, but that's not a selling point for the gin. If I want Special K with red berries, you know what? I'll go out and buy Special K with red berries.
Hey, big spender!
Label and nose aside, I think it's time that we have a little bit of a taste.
Grillvergnügen, kühles Bier, so schön ist der Sommer.
Now see, the annoying thing about this is they've won it round with the palate. The palate is really good on this gin, and I think that's in part to the wonderful 47% ABV that this gin clocks in at. They're not afraid to put a load of alcohol in there. So it means that where you lacked the gin kind of feel on the nose, you make up for on the palate. There's really nice like piney juniper notes, really nice citrus notes. You get like the sweetness of the raspberries. There's this nice kind of creaminess from the cocoa that runs through it, similar to what I've talked about before with Bullard's Norwich Dry Gin. It feels really nice and vanilla-y, it feels herbaceous. Can't say I'm really getting the hops or the malt per se, but I'm guessing it's doing things in the background which are making it work really nicely. I am shocked that this has come out as nicely as it has. I think it's time that we get a bit of ice in there and just see what we're working with. So, just a little in there, getting it nice and chilled down. Prost.
Hey la la, la so a schöne Zeit. Hey la la, da ist die Sommerzeit.
Yeah, I think it's largely the same. It takes a few of the elements that I maybe wasn't so keen on, so things like the raspberries, and tones them down a little. You still get the nice kind of vanilla-y cocoa thing running right through it. Feels a bit more creamy, but you get more of like the nice kind of sweetness from the citrus at this point in time, and I mean, it's all around good. I'm really excited to see just how it works when you dilute it a little. So let's have a go.
Motherfucker, fuck the fucking world, and my new band is called Skill.
The 47% means that it stands up beautifully to dilution. It really cuts through. The character of the gin is really phenomenal. I was totally wrong to judge this on its label. However, I still think the label is wank. So Duke, come on, get a proper marketing team in and do your job nicely there. Because you've made a really good gin. It's not like so many German gins I've had that have just jumped on the bandwagon of gin and been pissing around with it and just go, we'll make something that's like an apple schnapps, but we'll call it a gin because people like gin more than schnapps at the moment. This is a serious gin, and a gin that has taken real thought and consideration into it. The botanical mix is all over the fucking shop, but amazingly, it works on the palate, and I'm so happy to say that because I was expecting the coin toss of German gin that always comes down to, is it shit or is it amazing, to firmly be shit. It's not. It's really, really good. Is it worth £45? Probably not. However, it is unique, and it's not uniquely shit, which is most important. It's not a Hoxton, it's not any of those stupid gins that whack nonsense botanicals in there just for the sake of doing so. This is something that has tried to blend at least the terroir of Bavaria with things that are not so common in gin, and it's done a great job of it. Boring bottle, but I can let them off for that. You know, it's Germany anyway, isn't it? It's a little bit... Anyway, so, yeah, thanks very much, the Duke. Auf Wiedersehen!
Oh, yeah, like and subscribe, girl.
Like and subscribe. What? Like and subscribe. Work it out.